Okay, good day, everyone. We're excited to have you here, and I want to personally welcome you to Nextar Quantum Systems. This is a technology and innovation company that is looking at trainings and innovating great softwares for Africa and the whole world at large. So we want to welcome everybody to this event. We're hopeful that this event is going to be a great one, and we're going to showcase what Nextar has in store for both partners and investors and students alike and the public in general. So we're grateful that you've made it here, and we're excited to have you. We're hopeful that this is going to be a great event and you leave here refreshed and happy that you've made it here. Thank you.
When you read the story of how Mark Zuckerberg and his friends from college started Facebook, it didn't look like it at first. So I'd like you to turn to your right, turn to your left, look at your neighbor and say, it is a privilege to begin this with you.
Today marks not just the unveiling of a brand, but the beginning of a movement. One born from sharing belief that Africa can lead the next wave of global innovation if we invest intentionally in knowledge, technology, and people. When Nextar was conceived, it was built on a simple but powerful question. What if Africa's brightest mind could access world-class training, build groundbreaking solutions, and find meaningful opportunities, all in one ecosystem? That vision gave birth to Nextar Quantum Solutions, a technology, innovation, and education company positioned at the heart of Africa's digital transformation. Your presence today reaffirms that Africa transformation will not be imported. It will be built right here by us, through us, like Nextar platform. Thank you so much.
Thoughts become things. I am always creating because I am always thinking. And at that time, I had it emblazoned on the walls of my room back in a very rural area in Warri Delta State. But it's only now it's beginning to make sense about the things we could create from the things we think about. The good book says that God is able to do exceedingly abundantly beyond what we could ever ask or think. So I have seen that one of the biggest problems we have here in Africa in terms of education and talent development is the inability to actually use our God-given faculties for strategic and purposeful thinking. And the truth is, Nextar Quantum Solutions is a product of strategic thinking. At this point, I would need to say that Nextar is a brainchild of 3 young men who were united, or who are united by the passion to impart education the right way and learning the right way. So I would love to introduce those 2 young men. They are my co-founders. Over the course of the day, they will come and give us and talk to us, but I just want to recognize them now. So we have Mr. Enoch Daniel, he's my co-founder, and I have Mr. Thomas Beidou. So we've been working together for the last 3 years. Cumulatively, we've taught maybe over 4,000 students in the last 4 years. And we were able to identify pain points of what young learners need. That chasm, that gap that exists between learning and applying. And especially with the economic realities of Nigeria, the gap that exists between having all the skills in the entire world and actually having paid and gainful employment. So we see people leave school, and this is the story of maybe most students in Nigeria, most young professionals in Nigeria who leave school with a BSc degree, second class upper, first class, second class lower, and it's always a struggle to determine the next course of action in terms of employability and scaling and growth. Also, we identified the startup bug that had been spreading across Nigeria over the last 15 years. In 2008, I was in the University of Benin. My very good friend Precious, I met him in the University of Benin. My friend Victor, as I just walked in, I met him at the University of Benin, and we were just young. I was a very thin boy. I'm still thin, right? Well, just a young boy and everything. And then Facebook was only just starting. We were using Java phones, or Symbian phones as we call them then. And I did a magazine for my fellowship, Anglican Students Fellowship, and we serialized Facebook, talked about Facebook, and it was nice because we were looking at young innovators like us at that time that we were building something really very cool that anybody could relate with. And from 2008 till 2012, tech was growing. In fact, around that period, everybody wanted to be an engineer. I applied for engineering. Uniben gave me computer science, and most people wanted to transfer to engineering. But by the time we were finishing school, by 2012, we were now seeing the power of what tech could bring to Nigeria. And today we have companies like Paystack, we have companies like Stripe, we have companies like Kuda, we have these companies that are springing out of Nigeria through young persons like us. So it was based on these issues. I was having a conversation with my co-founders, Mr. Thomas and Mr. Enoch, about 2-3 months ago, and we were like, okay, we've seen this pain point. How can we build something that can be sustainable here in Africa? And the good thing about tech is that with tech, you can scale faster. You do not need a brick and mortar space to, just like I do not have to open 10 shops to own 10 shops, right? That's in quotes. I can just scale with tech, right? So it is based on this that Nextar was birthed. So the name Nextar, the root word is nectar. Those of us that do NLP, natural language processing, we talk about stemming, right? To identify the root word from a longer word. So Nextar comes from nectar, which is the essence or the sweet part of a flower, right? So nectar is essence, nectar is sweetness, nectar is excellence, which are values we are very, very particular about. And then there's next. Next means what's the next big thing, right? What's next? And then there's star. So it's an amalgamation of 3 words: nectar, next, and star. Our vision is to see how we can add something new to whatever is already existing. And we identified 3 key areas: artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and software engineering. AI especially because as at 2022 when OpenAI launched ChatGPT, there's been a proliferation of plenty AI softwares, plenty AI companies. I was telling some people that over the last 2-3 years, most of the new entrants into the Forbes billionaire and millionaire list were AI billionaires. So we'll be shortchanging ourselves and cheating ourselves here in Africa if we do not see how we can have a piece of this pie. Nextar has about 6 subsidiaries: Nextar AI, Nextar Cybersecurity, Nextar Dev, Nextar Talent, Nextar Start, Nextar R&D, Nextar Hub, and Nextar Foundation. So across these areas, we will be providing both services, trainings, and certifications. So for example, Nextar AI will provide services in AI, products in AI, and then would also provide trainings and certifications for a wide range of professionals, from early school entrants to even working professionals. The talent arm of Nextar is because we already consider ourselves to be talent whisperers. We can identify talent. We have identified talent. So our job is to get more talent and see how we can provide them with the kind of opportunities that is deserving of the skills that they are blessed with. For the startup, Nextar Start, I already talked about how the startup culture in Nigeria is really improving. Funding for startups across Africa, maybe Nigeria is number 1, maybe very close to Kenya and Rwanda, right? So we see companies springing up every day. And today we are going to be showcasing 2 startups later today that we've already mentored and are already scaling.
So our goal here at Nextar is to rethink training, rethink talent building. We've seen Andela, we've seen Utiva, we've seen the big names already in Nigeria, and we've seen their flaws, and we're rethinking that models with Nextar. All right, so first slide, second slide, sorry, thank you. Okay, so our core mission here is to build a robust digital workforce. A workforce that is core at building and solving Africa's challenge. We have seen a lot of talent. I mean, they've been shipped from Nigeria to solve European problems, and we've left Africa's problem. And it has left us with lots of problems over and over again. So our core mission here is to build a workforce that is African-centric, solving Africa's most difficult challenges. What are the challenges in the African tech market? What are the challenges? We have, number one, unstructured marketplace, unstructured learning process. So we have people learning different pathways, learning from YouTube, learning different pathways. And so that has made learning in itself very difficult. It's unstructured. So people learn from different points and there's no end goal inside. Our core goal at Nextar is to build a robust talent team whereby students or our learners actually learn from us, look at Africa's problem, rethink the problem, redefine the problem and solve it to have a goal in sight. So we're actually core at this. Number two is that we have minimal problem-solving professionals. We just have professionals that are key in operations. I mean, solutions have been built already, so what they just do is just everyday operations. And that's why we don't see core innovations in Nigeria. The best we have seen so far is Money Point. Everybody have Money Point, everybody have OP. They're rethinking fintech, they're rethinking how we buy and how we sell. But yes, that is just a fragment of the picture. What if Africa have talent that can solve Africa's challenge? Our core goal is that. Now the market is, we have 9 million tech professionals that will be needed in the year 2030. And nobody is talking about that. That is a challenge. Nobody is talking about 9 million people to fill up this marketplace. All right, about $30 billion have been projected for this. So you see, reskilling, we have people that have already skilled, but reskilling is also another part of it. You can have people that are in engineering, and we know technology changes over time. So our core goal is skilling, reskilling, cycling again, over and over again. So $30 billion set up for that, and nobody is talking about that. Nobody's going to the market because we don't even have people that can dare themselves to come to this marketplace. All right, so about 70% of unstructured or uncertified talent. Somebody can just tell you, I'm a software engineer. How? Where? Who certified you? How did you become an AI expert? So we are actually building a system whereby people come into it, get certified, and you can be sure they're truly satisfied. And remember that our core goal here, our core values here is wicked. I mean, if you want to look at it from every sense of the word, it is really wicked. All right, so we're actually going to the market, changing the narrative and putting Africa first, because we believe that Africa can be the next big global market that will change the world. Right? Next up, what are our offerings? Core here is certification. We're certification aligned. Every of our programs here, from software engineering to cybersecurity to AI, is certification aligned. So we're doing global practice, but towards what? African content, African-centric way of actually solving problems. Two, we have corporate tech, where we provide upskilling for businesses. Because of course, we have corporate organizations that just do the normal everyday thing. They do operations, just go to work 9 to 5 and nothing there. So we want to actually change the narrative, upskill those talents, all right, and make them more proficient in the workplace. Number three is innovation lab. Like my friend and partner actually said earlier, the R&D. To me, I'm an R&D guy because I believe that this is actually the brainwork of any organization. If you want to change Africa, we must look at Africa from an R&D perspective, because this is the house, the home, that we rethink the problem, the change we want to see. We don't just go with it with the white goods approach. We look at it scientifically. What is this problem? How can we model the problem? And we think what solution in view. So that's our core thing. So what's one thing? Why Nextar? That's the question. I mean, there's Andela, right? There's Utiva, and the rest of them. So why Nextar? That's the question. Why Nextar? So the thing is this. We have a dream. I mean, who said that actually? Martin Luther. Yes, but ours is way, anyway, let's just allow Martin Luther because I respect him so much. But here, our model is quite unique, quite different. I mean, it's disruptive. We've seen Andela, we've studied Andela, we have depth of research. We've studied Andela, we've studied Utiva and the rest of them. The model is quite straightforward. You come on board, they enroll you, and you get, started with them, and you take a skill and all of that, and they promise you that upon finishing of this particular skill, you get a job. That's a promise. And most times you get to see people go through that process, and at the end of the day, they're left hanging, and there's no job for them. But what we're saying here is that we know that the market is saturated or about saturated. So we're not looking at or promising that, oh, you're coming on board, and then we'll promise you a job at the end of the day. But what we're saying that Nigeria is filled up with lots of opportunities. There are a lot of problems. For every problem behind it is an opportunity. So what we're saying is that we will look at Nigeria's problems, Africa's problem, because we're African-centric. We look at individual countries, Africans, look at the problems we have. See how we can actually model those problems very well and come up with solutions that will build up startup for us. So what we're looking at is Nextar becoming conglomerate, having tiny bit of startups solving Africa's unique challenges. That alone will bring up lots of startups. And that alone will bring up lots of jobs. So we are not just training people for jobs, we are training them for our own jobs, right? And that way they get jobs, they build up skill, their profile ranks, and they're world class. That's the essence. You get it? So that's digital learning is quite straightforward. It's a hybrid platform whereby we have a physical office, physical space where people come in, they learn with us, and we have hybrid. It's also, you can go virtual, where actually they come on an online space and we have meetings. And quite unique, we have AMA sessions where we bring up senior, software engineers, AI experts, professionals, come have a talk with our talent, all right? And give them some sort of motivation, give them insight into the future and all of that. Okay, so that's one key thing. Also, we have personalized learning. For those people that are thinking of, oh, okay, I want to switch, right? They want to switch, they've been in a particular, maybe domain of expertise, maybe accounting, maybe HR and all of that. Tech can actually answer a lot of questions. So for those people that think they want to switch from a domain of expertise to tech, it's quite easy for them to do that. Okay, so we see people here and there, how do I switch to tech? Oh, I love tech. Oh, but I don't know how to do it. Okay, so we look at your domain expertise, right? We think how you think and provide you a curated learning pathway that at the end of the day, it does not take you far from what you are currently good at, but still yet you are still in tech. So a personalized learning approach alongside with that. So we see we're rethinking how tech is done. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that anytime you think the next phase of tech in the entire Africa, think Nextar. And we're not even just dreaming about it. It's what we've really believed in. It's not just a belief that is empty, but we're pursuing it, okay? And we're very, very straightforward with how that, okay, see, this is a great time to follow along because we're a moving train. The next 2-3 years, you wouldn't understand Nextar again. It's to be like from Maitama to the world. That's just the truth. It's not just some blind vision or blind passion that doesn't have anything. It's what we have done a lot of things before now. We've succeeded, we failed at some. But you see, all of those lessons have really built us this strong and this solid. And we're sure that we will win. It's not something we're doubting about. It's a real thing agenda.
So the investment avenue for anyone who is looking at investing in Nextar is what? Equity participation, franchise. You can open a Nextar hub anywhere in Nigeria. You can open a Nextar training hub anywhere you are in Africa. You can also we can also partner with you when you open a training center. So for instance, you're looking at opening a training center anywhere in Nigeria or anywhere in Africa. Nextar can partner with you as an investment avenue for both you and Nextar. We also have program sponsorship. So one of our core areas is we can partner with you if you have a program. Say for instance, you are an organization and you're looking at giving out scholarship to students. Nextar can come in, we'll train those students you've given scholarship to, or possibly we have Nextar. Okay, we also have our NGO, which we're focusing on the girl child. So businesses, organizations who are looking at sponsoring scholarship for those set of people, Nextar can also come in and offer trainings to such kind of programs. So one of our investment avenues is also the tech incubation and product co-development. So we're looking at building tech incubation hubs around Nigeria and Africa. and product co-development. So you're a company, you have a software, you have a business you want to start up, you can partner with what Nextar to co-develop that particular product, and what that can also be what an investment avenue for that individual and also what for Nextar. So how do we use our investments? So say you have invested in any of the programs we've talked about. How do we use that investment? This is how we intend to use our investment at Nextar. We use our investment to expand our digital learning infrastructure, because core to Nextar, our training is our core product. And how do we train? We need spaces. We need good spaces where people will come and learn. So when we get this investment, one of the areas we're looking at is to expand our digital learning infrastructure. So both physically and through maybe LMS systems and other softwares, we will reinvest whatever we get into those areas. Also, enhancing our course content and certification programs. Core to our training is cybersecurity, AI, and software development. Whatever investment we are getting into Nextar, these are some of the areas we are looking at. How do we build our course content to fit into the African dream? Because Nextar is for what? Is for Africa. Then strengthen marketing and regional scaling. For instance, we are starting today. This is our launch. Core to what we'll need to expand is marketing. And we're looking at how are we going to get finance to do proper marketing, both here in Nigeria and Africa at large. So we need investment in strengthening our marketing and regional scaling. So the other thing we'll need investment for is R&D and for AI and cybersecurity tools. I think when the CEO was talking, he made mention, or he talked big on research and development for AI. We recently in America, we'll see that most investments are going towards artificial intelligence. Trillions of naira have gone into artificial intelligence. And what we are looking at is how as Africa, how are we going to play into the AI space? How are we going to invest into R&D? So at Nextar, one of the areas we're looking at using investment we are going to get for is for research and development in AI and cyber security tool. The other part is develop online platform for global reach. Before starting the lecturing job, or even during my lecturing job, I'm a Cisco certified trainer, right? And Cisco owns one of the largest LMS platform for training in cybersecurity, in AI, and in other courses. So at Nextar, we are also looking at building our own online platform that caters specifically for the African markets, right? So these are the areas we need investment for, and these are the areas we intend to use whatever investment we are going to get in building. Thank you. So what are our partnership tiers? We have different tiers, different partnership tiers. Anybody can partner with us. Anybody can invest in Nextar. For instance, let me give you an example. In 1993, those who invested $1,000 in NVIDIA are multi-millionaires in dollars today. And our vision and mission at Nextar is we are starting today, we are looking into the future to build a legacy for everyone who would believe in that dream and vision. And for us, we are doing our channel to that dream and vision is our partnership tiers. How can you partner with us? Or what are the tiers we have for our partnership? We have academic, we have the corporate, we have the investment, we have affiliate, and we have strategic. For the academic, what is the partner type? If you want to exist at the tier of academic, what type of partnership are we looking at? So we're looking at partners that will in university, colleges, secondary schools, institutions, organizations. They can exist at the tier of academic. What is the contribution, or how is Nextar going to contribute? Host centers and promote enrollment. And what is the benefits if you are in that tier of the academic tier is shared revenue award co-branding. Now, tier, we have tech firms and banks. Those are our partner types. And what is the contribution? Sponsor training, offer internship. And what is the benefit for our partner is CSR visibility, and what provision of what skilled talent. Now, for the angel investors and venture capitalists, their contribution is going to what? Provide capital and network. We need capital and we need network to scale. The benefits for them is what? Return on investment and equity participation. So if you're coming as an angel investor or a venture capitalist, we're looking at what? Equity participation. So we say we have different subsidiary, and we're looking at if you're investing in us, we can what? We can share part of what? Our equity with that individual. Then for affiliates, partner type, we're looking at agents and influencers. So if you're an agent, if you're an influencer, or you know an agent or influencer, what would be the contribution? Recruit students, promote programs. Benefit is what? Commission-based reward. So every individual you refer it to Nextar, you will have a benefit or you have what? A commission. And the last in our tier for now is what? Strategic. So we're looking at government and what? NGOs. What are going to be the contribution? Policy and what? Funding support. Benefit will be what? Policy alignment and what? Public impact.
When we speak about empowering girls in technology, the conversation often starts with access. Access to education, access to digital devices, access to opportunities. But today, I want us to look beyond access. I want us to look at impact. Because access alone is not empowerment. Empowerment begins when access is transformed into confidence, creativity, and contribution. It is transformed when young women and girls can see themselves being contributors into the economy of their country. Now, we talk about bridging the digital divide. Across Africa, millions of brilliant young girls are still excluded from digital revolution. Not because they lack the ability, like the previous speaker highlighted, but because they lack the opportunity. AI and the emerging technologies are shaping every part of our lives. Every part of our lives and existence, yet many girls are missing from the conversation. I woke up the other day and I started a diet plan. And ChatGPT gave me a diet plan I'm currently using. Just picture that. I do not have to go to a dietitian to say, oh, I want to be on a keto diet. ChatGPT designed my diet. So imagine a world where women can access these technologies and these services in Africa. We would bridge that knowledge divide. We would bridge a lot of problems.
So the thinking behind Sky, like I said, it's connecting customers, you and I, with these skincare companies to give us a better face, a better skin. That is the whole point of Sky actually. Even our tagline is taking your skincare game sky high, that's sky high. So we are hoping to help Nigerians with our skin, because the truth is, we Nigerians, we depend on Western or foreign importations that are not tailored for our skin. I mean, most of these, let's say, face serum, they are not really like meant for like Africans. They are mostly tailored to these foreigners, and that won't help us. So Sky helps connect African skincare brands with Nigerians, with Africa as a whole. So that is how Sky works. And I really want to appreciate Mr. Tom, Mr. Enoch, and Mr. Felix for their guidance, because they really took Sky to the next level. And under their guidance, I know we'll go even further.
That's for AAIF.
Thank you so
Now
much.
I'm going to talk about the second portfolio of Nextar, which is AgroLinker. Now it may interest you to know that some majority of such foodstuffs come from small-scale farmers. It's just a plethora of them accumulated to give you that. Now many farmers struggle to gain access to this market.
So the farmer can also, for instance, you can have a premium farmer, you can have a farmer that's on a large scale or a small scale farmer, whatever is the tier of the farmer. So if you want to scale, you pay on the platform, depending on how you've been vetted, you can scale. So you can leave being a small scale farmer to a very large scale farmer, a medium scale farmer. So that way you pay some sort of premium to grow in that order. Also, there's the investor platform. So the investors also have opportunity to get to see the farmer's performance. So it's a data-driven approach to solving Nigeria's agricultural challenges. So the investor is going to see, okay, how has this farmer been performing over a period of time? So, because of course, investment is quite simple. It's risks and management. The bigger the risks, the bigger the returns. Okay, so with data, you can see how the farmer is performing, either to invest or not. Okay, so we have also, so what are we backed up with? We are backed up by insurance companies. So why must we, or what do we have to have this standing to prove that, yes, we can? We have backed up by insurance companies that actually protect our stocks and investments too. Okay, so it is risks. Okay, there's risks, but yes, we have insurance companies that back up our risks there. Okay, so farmers basically seek capital from investors. Investors provide the capital. Farmers sell produce to a marketplace, and then the platform get back, and the marketplace, investors too can even buy on the marketplace. You can choose in whatever way you want to invest on the platform. There's also other key features like the 3 Naira. Let me talk about the 3 Naira. So for instance, imagine 3 Naira. I don't mean 3 Naira. Now, there are agricultural trees, yeah? For instance, palm, so perennial crops, basically, trees that grow over cocoa and all of that. So we're looking at 3 Naira like an investment feature on this platform, whereby you can actually pay in front. For instance, a child, if you have a child, you can actually buy a tree in the child's name. And that tree can grow for a long period of time, returning investment for you. So instead of backing up your stock on some things that here and there can die or all of that, now you have tree, maybe oil palms and all of that. Okay, and it takes time for these things to grow. So over the period of time, your stocks keep piling for those period of time. Say for instance, the child is about 10 years old. Now the child has a tree that can actually return something to the child.
Okay, hey guys, we've come to the end of the launch of Nextar Quantum Systems, and it was a blast. So I'm going to give you a rundown of our events, from the opening remarks to the speech by the CEO, Mr. Felix Uloko, the founder of Nextar Quantum Systems, and also some investor pitches by Mr. Enoch Daniel, that is also the managing director. We also had Mr. Thomas Bedru talk with us, or talk to us. He's also the managing director of the Nextar Quantum Systems. And we also had, some tech startup speech by some students from Veritas University. And yeah, it was a success. The whole launch was quite innovative.
Say Nextar! Nextar!